The initial phase is the setting of one landscape. The term underpainting is used for this purpose. Underpainting can be extremely important in the finished image, and the intensity and impression of light in the image depends on it. In classical painting, the principle is the same, and underpainting is one of the most important elements of image construction. As all colors are known, they are contained in white light. Proof of that is the spectrum of colors obtained with some optical instruments, and the proof is the rainbow after the rain. For this reason, every object in nature radiates its own color. Thus the leaves are bright red, yellow permeated with green, parts of the grass and the sky retains in itself except blue and other colors. There are many different styles in the painting epochs, but here we have used the Impressionist approach. One of the most important representatives was Van Gogh. He was just relying on light that contained all colors, even those we wouldn't say could be found on a single object. In this phase, we start with a more detailed approach to materials from which objects are in nature. It is very important to know that the landscape we are painting is contrasting. It contains very light parts, but also extremely dark ones. In this phase, we notice and place darker objects, and thus the whole begins to emerge. By using Sumo Paint X brushes and adjusting the opacity and pressure options, we can also achieve the effect of a mix of colors that meet on one substrate. The effect is the same as in standard oil or acrylic painting. As we found earlier, each object in nature radiates its own set of colors. Nearby objects are also darker, while the farther ones are brighter and the farthest ones are the brightest because the influence of distance affects all objects. At first glance, the shadows of this nature seem only gray. However, they also contain tones of blue and purple shades due to the italics of the atmosphere and reflection from other objects. In this particular landscape, a forest located near the city, we have one particular phenomenon that makes this landscape interesting to paint. It is an intertwining of warm and cold colors. The cool purple shadows of the trees intertwine with the autumn yellow-green-red park, and this clash of light makes this motif interesting. As we found out earlier, this motif could be approached in another way, realistically, with more details, such as tree bark or leaves on branches. But in this case we were interested in how, with the help of Sumo Paint X tools, with respect to impressionistic viewing and painting nature, to create one light impression of the landscape we were looking at. In the final phase of work on the landscape, we emphasize some of the main elements of light in the picture, the lightest parts of the trees or the darkest. With smaller strokes of the Sumo Paint X brush, we create a vibration of colors in the conflict of warm and cold tones. We have partially applied the same in the canopy of trees. As the final product of our digital artwork, we have a landscape painted with Sumo Paint X tools. But the impression and value of the painting is the same as with classical painting. We can print the image on a printer or a better plotter. Digital images can be printed on canvas and then burned and framed. That way, it will last longer. Happy landscape painting with Sumo Paint X tools.